Just laying on the ground is the best part. Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of glowSTRONG, a web series about fitness, wellness, and good food. I'm Leslie Genoway and I'm your host. Today's episode is Bar and Barre. First we'll be hanging out with Brittany Reid and making some awesome nutritious snacks. Then we'll be heading down to Project Bar with Sasha, where she's gonna pump my booty. And then lastly, we're gonna be meeting up with Judd from the Capital, who's gonna teach us all about a healthy cocktail bar and recipes. We are here with Brittany Reid of Eating Intuitively. She is a holistic nutritionist, a plant-based chef in the city. So she's gonna take us through a healthy granola bar recipe.
Yeah. It is super easy to assemble because we're gonna just basically take all of these lovely ingredients and throw it in the food processor, and then it'll be ready in a couple hours. So we are gonna start with 2/3 of a cup gluten-free oats.
Gluten-free.
Which is really great for fiber, and it's almost like that everyday breakfast bar. So some people have oats for breakfast in the morning, but we're gonna make this into a bar. And then we have
Date me.
Date you. Yes, dates. Again, with the dates, really high in fiber, great to help with the reducing of the insulin spike. So anytime we have sugar, our insulin rises, and fiber or fats are what is going to sustain that. So it's going to actually take that energy source and everlast it. A half a cup of raw cashews, again specific to the raw, so the nutrients are vital, so the healthy fats are intact. And then 1 1/3 cup of raw cacao nibs.
Cacao!
Yeah. And cacao nibs, again, is like cocoa, so it is chocolate, and it's packed full of magnesium, antioxidants, and who doesn't like a little bit of chocolate in the morning?
Exactly.
Yeah. We have 3 tablespoons of coconut oil.
Cool.
And that's gonna help to combine and make everything stick together along with the dates. And then it has the medium chain triglycerides.
And creaminess too.
Creaminess, yeah, and a little bit of sweetness. We have a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, which is packed full of chromium, which helps with blood sugar levels as well. Right. We have a 1/2 cup and 4 tablespoons of natural peanut butter. So again, unsalted, so you can control the salt. And you can use any sort of nut butter or seed butter.
Right. Depending on, especially if you're like sending them to school with your kids, or you know, sometimes we're so conscious right now of nut allergies. So it might be a better option, or a different option and a different flavor profile too.
Yeah.
Using like an almond butter or something like that.
Yeah, you could do a seed, like a tahini, which is a sesame seed or a sunflower. We're gonna do a couple cracks of the Himalayan salt.
Did a little extra, because again, I love salt.
And then what's gonna change this from, at this point you could just blend it up and have it as an everyday bar. But we're gonna just take the nutrient levels a little bit higher, and we're gonna add some superfoods. And specific, we're gonna add chaga and sea buckthorn. Chaga is actually gonna be an immune boosting superfood. It also is an adaptogenic superfood. So if you're experiencing any sort of fatigue, adrenal fatigue, like you're feeling lethargic, maybe you're getting sick super often, this is actually gonna help to increase your immune system.
And chaga is a mushroom.
And chaga is a mushroom. You can actually find it wildly grown here in Saskatchewan. Yeah. And then sea buckthorn is the balanced berry. It's actually, again, grown here in Saskatchewan too. And it is packed full of antioxidants and nutrients, vitamin C, B6, there's like B1, vitamin A and D, and it's really, really great for healing wounds, skin, glowing, your joints, and it just helps to add a little bit more of those nutrients in our everyday life where
It's easy to get into a granola bar instead of having to, actually eat a spoonful of it, which you're not going to do anyways. So you might as well do it that way. Okay, cool. So then now we just blend this all together.
We're just going to blend it all together, and we're going to cover the top just in case we have a little bit of oat. Okay, so once again the mixture is to the consistency you like, so you can again keep it a little bit chunkier, or you can actually completely, if you wanted it to be super smooth, you just want to keep blending it for quite a bit of time so that it would become a smooth texture. And now we're going to flatten it into our pan. Lining your pan with parchment paper, it just helps for easy removable. And I'm going to just press this down. And then once it's all pressed down and formed, we're going to pop it in the freezer for a couple hours to seal up and to become one.
One unit. One mind, body, and soul.
Yeah. And after it's done in the freezer, you can keep it for a couple months. I like to slice them up and then put them back.
Pre-package them.
So pre-package them, pre-portion them.
Okay, so it's out of the freezer, it's set, and now we're gonna eat it.
Yes.
So now
always have to eat it.
And again, I don't deal with knives, that's all you.
I'll cut it. We're just gonna chop it lengthwise down. And I like a lot again, so I don't usually tend to cut about 12 of these.
But some people could.
But you could. Yeah,
I get it.
It's just really yum. So,
but I could see how this would be really, really filling, right? Like, I don't know if I'd be able to eat a whole one, especially if I'm using it for a snack.
Yeah.
If it's in my lunch and I'm doing it as like a part of my lunch, that's a different ballgame. But
yeah, I'd be eating half of the pan.
Exactly.
Something. So. Yeah. So we're just going to take one of the slices. And because everyone knows that I usually come accompanied with chocolate at some point of time, I have this raw chocolate drizzle. So this is raw cacao, raw cacao powder, and a little bit of maple salt and some vanilla, and then again the chaga. And I just find chaga is such an incredible superfood for if you're going to look at one superfood to bring into your life other than like the matcha bar that's going to give you that energy. Chaga is going to be the next top. Okay. So it's sort of like an everyday pantry item where you can just add it anywhere.
Whether it's smoothies or it's nut milks or it's on top of your cereal for the kids in the morning or you just melt it all, and there's coconut oil in here too, so you can melt it.
All I told you is that joke. Yeah. So you can melt it all and then together and just whisk it. So it's super quick and easy. It's like a 2-minute process, and I just like to drizzle it.
And the more the merrier.
Yes, the more the merrier. Yeah.
Very pretty. I always like when you like plate it. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna eat that anyways. Thank you very much. Coolest thing about this is that it's all whole foods, it's easily accessible, and there are things that can actually stay in your pantry for a little while, so you don't they're not going to go bad.
No.
So thanks for joining us, and we're going to eat this bar now together. This season of glowSTRONG is brought to you by GMS Health and Travel Insurance. From chiropractic visits to dental care, traveling the world, they make it easy and affordable for you to live well. Talk to your GMS insurance broker today or purchase coverage online now at gms.ca. We're here today with Sasha from Project Bar, and she's going to put us through the paces for our bar class. We're going to get our sweat on, our groove on.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what Project Bar is.
So Project Bar is a bar fitness studio. We specialize obviously in bar fitness.
Deal.
Yeah, so I danced competitively growing up in Regina for 17 years.
Yeah.
And since leaving dance, getting into other fitness, I never found that thing that I actually loved as much as I loved doing dance.
Okay.
When I did my first bar class about 8 years ago, I was like, this is it. This is what I need to do.
That's your jam.
It is, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So was that wasn't in Regina, because we didn't offer it then, obviously.
No.
So it would have been somewhere else that you were living.
Absolutely, yeah. Bar is not new. It's been around since 50s, 60s. But it's new.
Like Jane Fonda days?
Like even beyond Jane Fonda days.
Real?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
deal, okay.
So honestly, we welcome everybody at the studio. There's room for everybody at our bar. Our client is generally female. As soon as you talk about ballet and dance, the men kind of shy away. We do have a few men that come, but yeah, generally females. Everybody, my youngest client is 13 years old.
Cool.
And then we go all the way up to age 69.
And so do you find that people, like athletes that are actually still dancing would benefit, or still will come and try to use your guys' services on their maybe off season or anything like that?
Yeah, we actually have one, he's a member of the Canadian men's Olympic bobsled team. So he's heavy duty. He can deadlift like 600 pounds. It's unreal.
Right.
But he's dripping sweat and bar.
That's
so
good.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
People coming to their first class are absolutely terrified. Like, we recognize the look.
I am terrified.
She's got the look, right?
I'm terrified.
As soon as you walk in. So just get yourself to the front door. We'll take care of everything. Like, just no brainer, just show up and we've got it.
So far, my favorite part of the space is the gold polka dots in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the gold polka dots.
That's what I'm at right now.
So that's our whole aesthetic, is just working out doesn't have to be like ugly or a chore or whatever. You can come to this luxurious studio. You can come sit on a nice velvet couch.
Right.
It's all taken care of. Just show up, just enjoy the space, and let us work you out.
Love that, love that. One thing that I find that, especially with beginners or someone that's trying to get back into exercise, it can be a little bit intimidating or overwhelming with a big group class or something along those lines. But how quickly does that dissipate with your clients or your customers that come through the door? What really gets them to stick around after they maybe tried like a first class free or something along those lines? Like, how does that work with your groups?
So yeah, that large group like vibe can be so intimidating. So our class sizes are kept small. We cap at 18.
Very cool.
That's just to make sure also we can focus on what we're doing, making sure that your alignment is right. That's like our whole ideology. And it's generally that client who's so nervous walking in, they walk out of class with the hugest smile on their face.
So what sets you apart from either different trends in fitness or other places in the city that other people that tend to gravitate to? Like, what do you offer? What do we like to see?
So obviously bar fitness, but we do like to bring in those specialty classes. So we have 4 different types of bar classes. We also have these specialty classes. So we'll partner with other community organizations. We did a huge partnership with Habitat for Humanity.
Love it.
We did the big Mosaic Stadium, the Old Taylor Field class. We've recently partnered with CC Rescues. So we did that puppy bar class, which I'm sorry, I know I'm gonna get emails about it. Puppy bar class, it was amazing.
I need to do that one day.
Everybody says that.
Right?
I have no ends, I'm sorry.
Oh, come on. We're here. I'm kind of ready.
Are you ready?
No, but I will be.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'll get there.
You got through the front door. We'll take care of the rest. Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay, do your thing.
Let's go. Come on. Let's do it. Okay, so we're just gonna head down to the change rooms. During class, I want you to remember 2 things. You're in charge, so you can take a break. You can grab water whenever you need it.
I can leave.
You cannot leave.
Okay, deal.
We invite you to stay for the whole hour. I also want you to remember that shaking legs is an okay thing.
Okay.
If your legs shake, that means they're changing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's my first class ever, so I'm super nervous.
Still glues in, keeping that low back nice and flat. Thinking about that seat, go down an inch, up an inch. Come on, Leslie, lift it up this high. Yes, you. Bring those smiles back. Yes, you can.
Just laying on the ground is the best part.
You guys, that was amazing.
Few things that I realized. One, sometimes I get distracted and I don't pay attention to what I should be paying attention to. And so I get behind, so that's my own fault. 2, harder than you think. Absolutely. 3, the songs make it. Like, you have to have that music. That music makes you want to keep going further. So that's awesome. But I definitely need to work on my attention skills. So we're here today with Judd from the Capital, and he is going to help us create some healthy cocktails that we can entertain everyone and drink.
Absolutely. There's a couple really cool things we're going to talk about today. How to get more plant-based with your cocktailing. And we're going to talk about some things around the house that you can use in some drinks at home. Mm-hmm. So moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about what's called aquafaba.
Which is fun to say.
Aquafaba.
Aquafaba.
So aquafaba, literally water from beans.
Cool.
Or bean water.
Right.
It is from chickpeas. And it's going to give you a nice consistency similar to an egg white, which is important in any whiskey sour. So I recommend going with that one first, because usually chickpeas are something we all have on hand.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you should get some. They're really healthy.
They're easy to store, right? You can keep them in your pantry if you need to, very quick on the go, especially if you're trying to cook a little bit more plant-based for the family. Getting bigger cans are easy to have and just throw them together, really healthy, delicious, and they really absorb a lot of spices and flavors too. So they just use the juice on the byproduct after you put the kids to bed and you need a little bit of a drink.
Totally.
Yeah.
And also good to keep around for a zombie apocalypse. They keep well in the cupboard, good protein source, and you can actually hit people with the can.
Yeah, there you go.
So a good sour, of course, has the aquafaba.
Okay.
We're gonna do about an ounce of that.
I found that really interesting that would replace an egg white.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it the consistency or?
Yeah, so you can see see the thickness.
Yeah.
And so actually you can use aquafaba wherever you use an egg white. Making a mousse, like a chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
Making a meringue. Like I said, in a cocktail, it foams up just like egg white, and you're gonna sort of taste you're not gonna taste it. You're gonna have a little bit extra creaminess in your drink. Mm-hmm. And it really sort of brings all the whole cocktail together.
Cool.
So if you make it just a whiskey and lemon juice or whatever, it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
This is going to be really tasty sour.
That next level.
Absolutely. So we've got our aquafaba, and then instead of a simple syrup, we're using an agave simple syrup. Mm. So agave instead of sugar.
More natural, whole product, plant-based, not processed as much. So it's just a healthier option than just using something that is a white processed product.
It goes great with tequila.
Very good.
So for the simple syrup, you're going to just measure 1 to 1 part. So this is about like a cup to a cup of water. A cup of agave, a cup of water.
Yeah.
You can do it stovetop, or I just usually will boil a kettle and mix it right in.
Right.
It's similar to honey in the way that it's sort of a richer sugar.
Yep.
That or brown sugar sort of will give you that nice sort of flavor to it. So we're going to actually taste it pretty good in this cocktail.
Awesome.
It really balances well. So we're going to do an ounce of that as well.
Cool.
Right. Now, we need our citrus. So instead of just using plain old lemon juice, we have some more glow juice.
Yeah.
So this has a couple extra flavors in it too. So we're using the citrus glow.
And this one's actually created to mimic basically what like a Gatorade would be. So it's like a natural Gatorade. So not only are you drinking it the night before, but you can also drink it the next day again.
Yeah, replenish
a little bit of a
few
hangover. So yeah, anyways, high in electrolytes, very rehydrating. So there you go.
Perfect. So we're going to do an ounce of that. And in this drink, it's just going to add that nice sour element. Mm-hmm. Very citrusy, very lemony. And we're going to also throw in a bunch of whiskey. I hope everyone's okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I like to use bourbon. I like a little bit of a sweetness to it. You can use really whatever whiskey you have in the house.
Why bourbon? Why bourbon? Or what's the difference between bourbon and whiskey?
Well, bourbon has been aged for usually around 6 years in fresh charred oak. So it's been charred. It sits around. It's got a little bit of a smoky flavor to it, and it also is made more has more corn in it.
Okay.
And that can add actually a little bit of sweetness. So that's why bourbon just ends up a bit more sweeter than like a traditional rye, which can be smoky with a little more bite. This is a little bit more smooth.
Okay, cool.
So we're gonna add 2 ounces.
Makes sense.
The funny part about a good sour is you can put a ton of booze in it, and if it's a proper balanced cocktail, it's gonna still be really nice and well balanced.
Good.
Bitters are another cocktail ingredient you may not have around the house, but you can certainly get some at your neighborhood grocery store.
Absolutely.
They're also a really nice stomach settler as well. So the Angostura bitters and a little bit of ginger.
Help with digestion. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're gonna put two kinds. This is an orange bitter that we're gonna put in the cocktail. Then we're gonna use the Angostura on top as a bit of a garnish and mix that in later.
Cool.
I think we're ready for a shake. So
shake it.
With the aquafaba, similar to an egg, we need to dry shake it first.
Okay.
Reason being, in an egg, it really pulls out proteins, makes it frothy, and really increases the creaminess of the entire cocktail.
Dry shake means?
No ice.
Right.
So, put her on there. Make sure you have a good seal, which I don't. There we go. Give it a little smack.
Tap it out.
Absolutely. So, we're gonna do a dry shake. You wanna really be aggressive with it. Bounce it off the back. Give it lots of arm strength in there.
Flex.
Totally. I mean, you just got off your workout, you're ready for a whiskey. Come on.
You've been doing those buys all day.
Yeah. So you want a nice sort of creamy sort of look to that. Now, we're gonna do a wet shake, which would be?
Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where we're gonna cool the cocktail.
That's an interesting term. Cool the cocktail. I've never heard that before.
Did you see me flex?
Yeah. I felt it.
Okay.
I felt the manliness coming off of you. Right?
Exactly. Shaking is also about show, so don't be afraid to get a little wild.
Yeah. Draw some attention to yourself.
Totally.
Okay.
That's what it's there for.
Deal.
And so we're gonna strain that into our beverage. So you're gonna see it get nice and creamy.
That's awesome. And that is like a perfect representation of an egg white bliss sour.
Yes,
like
this
it's
is a vegan
frothy, which is really something that we're starting to learn a lot more about in Regina, so that's great to see.
Absolutely. So we're gonna give this a nice little zest. So if you have a little vegetable peeler, these are great. It might take a little bit of practice, but you can get just a nice even zest there.
Cool.
As little pith as possible.
Okay.
And we're gonna do what's called a twist and kiss. There you go. So we're gonna give it a little twist. So peel side down. That's gonna give that lemon zest right on top of the foam, and kiss the rim.
Aw, lots of love.
Lots of love. And we have ourselves a nice vegan sour.
Very cool. Wow.
Please.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah. So also using the zest on top of the drink gives it a really nice aroma right away, because the chickpea water, similar to egg as well, in the fact that the froth can have a bit of an odor sometimes. This is not, doesn't mean it's bad or anything like that, but if you want to have the mouthfeel and not the flavor. So the lemon zest really comes across.
And the agave is, I find it tastes better without the simple syrup.
Absolutely.
It's not as synthetic, if that makes sense.
Well, like I said, we get that sort of honey sort of richness to it. So that's our vegan sour. This one's a little bit more intricate. Give yourself some practice on getting that dry shake, the wet shake, get your portions correct, work on different juices. There's also different versions. We can put a little red wine on top, and that's called a New York sour, and that's actually delicious as well. You get that wine and citrus taste. It's like a sangria sour.
Ooh, delicious for the summertime.
Absolutely.
Cool, well, thanks for showing us all the things, the ins and outs, and it's a good starter for everyone to start hosting at their home.
Absolutely, yeah, have some fun.
All right guys, that was today's episode. We wanna know how you guys integrate your healthy recipes, tips and tricks for your cocktail bar. We also wanna see how your granola bars turned out. So tell us in the comments below. Also, we wanna challenge you to go and check out your local nearest bar studio and see what you think. And follow us on Facebook so that you can join us next time for our live Q&A session happening on July 12th. We'll be answering all of the questions that you have about all of our topics that we touched on today. Stay active.